Alright, first of all, I want to say thank you for coming tonight. We really appreciate it. Great turnout on a wonderful January winter night. Luckily, it's cold like it has been, so that's 20 degrees seems warm, which is kind of scary. We could be in Alaska where it's 40. That would be better. One of the things I tried to do a couple weeks ago is I sent out an email to unit leaders or who was on the contact list for unit leaders, whoever signed the reservation forms last year. Some people bounced back, the emails are wrong, I'm trying to get those fixed. I have some of them that were just typo errors. Hopefully they come through. And I'll also check on the rosters that were signed today. So if you put your email there, please check those too so that we can get their information out. One of the big things that I really want to do this year is make sure the communication lines are open and are strong. For those that did, raise your hand if you saw the email. See how many guys. Wow, awesome, sweet, cool. So you can see in there, I'm going to try to stay in contact at least once a month. Any updates, any changes, we're always trying to find ways to do things maybe a little better, or maybe some other thing comes up that we can add it to camp program. So please watch your emails, keep track of those. I have other ways that I also explained in the email that you can stay in contact with camp. If you want to, and I can put this up later again, we have a text messaging system that's set up, and basically it's a one-way text messaging system. I use it in my classroom, it works real well. If there's ever any information that needs to go out as an alert, I'll send it out to you, and no one else can respond back. There's none of that stuff. You can't have chats about what you're going to do or what you're going to get from my birthday, anything like that. Keep it secret. So you can go there and sign up. It's real simple. You just type in the phone number, and then you put the message in as @CLL2014, and it'll send you your first text that says thank you for signing up. And then anytime we have a message to go out from there, we'll send it out that way. If you don't have a text messaging program on your phone, you can sign up via email. And that's on the bottom how you can do that. You can email CLL2014 at, I think it's mailremind101.com. I did put this at the back of the staff, or the leader's manual. So if you look at the leader's manual, the back page, or second to last page, has the directions on how to sign up. So if you want to do that, I highly encourage you to do that. But as Aaron said earlier, I really like social media. It's a great way to get in contact. Maybe I should tell them this instead, but we do have a Facebook page. You can join our Facebook page. You just go to facebook.com/CampWildlikeBSA, like the page, and you're on. You'll get all the information. And you can also tweet us if you're a Twitter person at Camp Long Lake. Like I said, there's a text.
No MySpace?
No MySpace. I didn't even know that's around still, is it? Okay. Maybe Instagram someday. Just so you're aware, in case you want to see this presentation again, or you want to see the youth presentation, we are recording these. Hi, camera. We are recording these. We're going to put these on the website. So if you know anyone else that's interested or wants to sign up for camp, wants to get this information, they're going to be able to go on there probably by next week and be able to see the videos. All right, let's get into the important stuff about camp this year. Our fees are right up there on the board. $280 per youth, $125 per adult, and if any boy wants to come for second week for provisional, which we'll talk about provisional a little bit later, it's $250. Second week of camp has to be one from Long Lake. NYLT, who presented just a little bit ago. If any boys go to that, they do get the discount. Is that correct? They get the discount for summer camp. Summer camp. Yeah, right. So when they come to summer camp, they get that discount. There are two discounts. $10 for scouts returning from 2013. And then there's the 5% Gold Club membership for those councils, for those units in our council. You get that reimbursed after the summer camp season. Now the fees and how you pay the fees is a little different this year. I just kind of put the major points up there. Every youth needs to have a $100 non-refundable fee paid by March 7th. So anyone who plans to attend, you want to have a $100 fee for each member paid by March 7th to the Scout office. The rest of the fee needs to be paid by May 8th. Okay? Now, if you have any additional Scouts after that additional time of March 7th, they can still sign up, but it's a $25 fee added to it. So it makes camp go from $280 to $305. Or you get your $10 discount for coming back.
What about crossover weekly?
I'm glad you asked that. Crossovers will receive the $280 fee until June 1st. We planned that earlier, just in case anyone was wondering. Thank you, Mr. Zimmerman. Adults 125 is due by May 9th. And again, anyone else that comes after that is $25. Now, adults are $25 per day. That's the pro rate. So let's say you're planning out your camp schedules and adults are figuring out when you can get off work. Maybe I can only come up part of the week. We encourage you to set up your accounts so you can get everything in on time and we can be prepared. So we're planning for how many are coming. We know that's how many are coming for camp. Combine them and have one adult sign up, and then when we come to camp, we can adjust. By the way, we paid for this guy, but he's coming here and here. We've already planned that out. So if you want to pay in advance, that would be helpful, and let us know if you have partials trying to figure that all out ahead of time. We can always adjust or whatever comes up, we can make changes and things like that, but try to get that in advance. I guess there were some issues last year where too many adults showed up, we didn't have enough seats or whatever, so we're trying to prevent that stuff. Okay? Camper ships. The camper ships I have down the bottom corner, almost missed that, they're due by May 9th. That's the right date. They're supposed to be May 8th. May 8th, May 9th. Fine, okay, May 8th to May 9th. May 8th and a half. All right, let's kind of go through a little bit of the check-in process. If you've been up to camp, you kind of know the process. We are changing a few things this year to try to help speed up the process. Registration begins at 12:30. Our staff returns back at noon, so that gives us a half hour to get them prepared for the units coming in. When you drive into camp, you will be greeted by your USA or some staff members at the front by our awesome signs. And they will then meet you in the parking lot. There will only need to be 3 people to come up to the Bose Reception Center. Please make sure it's only these 3. Our staff member, your SPL, and then the Scoutmaster. That's all we need to come up. Okay? Everyone else will then be heading up to their site. We'll either send you that way or the USA can go with you if the troop is comfortable moving up and we can get them moving around. So you can get set up right away at your campsite. When the troops head to the campsite, they'll obviously get prepared, get set up for the week. And at the office, which is in the Bose Reception Center, the SPL and the adult leader will come in and take care of any paperwork. We'll check your roster to make sure we know who's all there and check to see if anyone dropped out, what have you, make sure everything's matching up. Probably give you our newsletter for the day so you know what's going on for Sunday, and give you a time to go to the health lodge where you're checking at the health lodge, and then from the health lodge you get to go see the dining hall, find out where you're going to be sitting for the week. Then you go down to Aqualand, our swimming area. If your troop did a pre-swim, you just have to listen to the safety speech. If you need to do swim tests at that time, obviously you'll do it down at the lake. And then you'll come back to your camp. The rest of the time is for you to set up. And right before dinner, we always do a troop picture. We'll give you a time for that too. Try to accommodate it around dinner so you guys can all come in uniform and look clean before you eat your first meal and get sloppy. Not you, but the youth, especially those first-year scouts and camp directors. Now, some of the things that have changed a little bit will be the things in the next following slides. Medical forms. We're trying to streamline this to make it more efficient when we go to camp, so we're not having to take that time to the Bose where we literally go through every form and check it at that time, and then we go up to the health lodge and basically do the same thing again. So what we've done to accommodate the troops, and we really, really, really encourage you to all do this, you will be able to send in your health forms either personally to the Scout office or by email, and let's talk about that. So we're trying to streamline the process. And to be able to do this, you can basically scan in your health forms, and you can send them via email to medicalcll@scouting.org. Again, this will be one of those things, I'll send out an email to all the units again. It's not in the leader's manual because this was one of those things that's changed since December when the manuals went online. So you can basically scan them all in and send them to us, and our health officer and staff will look through all the forms prior to camp. We want them at least 2 weeks prior to camp. So make sure that you electronically scan your Part A, your Part B, and your Part C, because you got to be there for longer than 72 hours. And don't forget the insurance card, front and back. Okay? Send them as a batch. So send them as all one PDF file. Don't send them all as individual health forms. And then you can also, as I said, just bring all your bring a copy of all to the scout office in Waukesha, and then they'll send them up to us, and we'll go through them that way too. Now, the only thing you have to do if you're going to be sending the electronic copy is you have to make sure you black out on the first page the Social Security number. That's an optional thing. Not everyone puts it in anyways, but that would be one thing we'd ask you to do is double check that before you send them. Block out the Social Security number. We'll check them for completion, make sure they're all done really well. And what I'll probably do in one of my emails that I'll be sending to you guys closer to camp coming up to remind you of how to do this, what things to look for, to make sure your health forms are good to go before you send them to us. So we'll send that to you to remind you what things to look for so we don't have a lot of things bouncing back to you. Again, if we can have everything set before you come to camp, this speeds this up a lot. All the buddy tags can be finished ahead of time. All the health forms can be put away ahead of time. We can check already who has medical issues. We can check who has health issues, things we have to double check before you even get there. So when you come to the health lodge, instead of everyone having to go to the health lodge, only a couple people have to go to the health lodge. Unfortunately, all of you will still have to hear the safety speech from our commissioner, but we'll try to keep it very brief this year. So that's the new process with the medical forms. Any questions on that?
You have a limitation on size. Some emails won't take more than
Right.
10 meg.
Pat, do you know?
It's
10 megabytes?
Yeah. Okay. Scans, you can get quite a bit of data.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the same. Oh, hey, warning. Computer is on no virus. This is the same kind of process that National Jamboree's done, and NOAC, we did this back in, what was the last one, 2012 or 2013, 12. So we're kind of using the same server that they use with the same, and then they get back to us again. Oh, Jerry first.
Having been at National, are you going to give us an email that you received it?
Yeah, we'll give a confirmation back. That's the bottom
That
line.
would be very much
Yeah,
appreciated.
again, we
Yes.
planned that one. We're on the same page today. Pat, you want to say something?
Can we send in some test results at the same time so everything's going to be done?
You guys are amazing. Oh wait. Yeah, we'll come back to that. But yes, you can. You're ruining my presentation. That's okay. He's the boss. Yep.
If we scan our medical forms, do we still need to bring a hard copy to camp for you to keep?
No, because we'll have a copy then on file. However, you do want to keep your own copy because remember, we have to, by law, keep them. So we can't give you a copy back, so you're going to have to keep your own copy. So whatever you scan, hold on for yourself. But no, we don't need 2 copies.
So if we drop them off at the scout office, we're still going to keep those in place of the electronic version?
We'll scan them all.
They'll scan them and then send them up to us, and they'll give them back to you.
All right.
Oh, Jinx, you owe me an extra $1,000. You didn't even hear me. Camera got it.
Does the camp require us to have a paper copy of it, or can we keep it in a flash drive?
You can keep it in a flash drive. We'll have our copy just like normal. So if there's ever an emergency like it has been in the past, we'll have the copy that goes to the hospital. And honestly, a lot of times now they ask for us to either email it to them ahead of time or fax it. We'll email it a lot quicker. So we can do that.
They're partial.
Yeah, I know.
If you notice there's something missing on the form,
Mhm.
are you going to let the people know before they get to camp?
Yes. Should I put the slide back up so you can see that?
Well, if we don't hear her, they show up, we can say.
I know.
"Good."
I know, I'm just giving you a hard time because I said that already.
As long as we have 2 weeks in advance.
Yeah. Make sure it's no, because if you don't give it to us with 2 weeks in advance, there's no guarantee we're gonna be able to go through it all the time. Medications, this is another thing to help to prepare for camp, so when you get up there, everything's good to go. Currently, you just have to make sure all medications are kept in the health lodge. That's no different than last year. Currently, that's how it is, okay? So when all medications come to camp, they need to be put into a Ziploc bag. They need to be marked with what it is, who it is. We have medication cards. They're a form that you can find on our website. Make sure one's filled out on every scuff, put in the Ziploc bag. So when medications are taken, we can go through that form. Unit leaders or units will need to make sure they have some leader that will take the boys to administer the medications at the health lodge. Medications will normally be handed out after breakfast, after dinner, and whenever else there's a specific request. If the scout needs to have his medication at 5 a.m., we'll make sure that an accommodation is made. The only thing that gets to be carried around is if a scout needs to carry an inhaler or an EpiPen, they can carry that on them as well. And then I already said the medication